What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. It's free. It helps get the video out there. Definitely watch this video to the end so you can hear the full story and all the details in the case. Everything in this video is alleged. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. No matter where you live at or choose to go in the world, from the nicest suburb to the most dangerous blocks, one thing for sure you can count on, if you go looking for it, you can find the underworld. As most hardworking people get up in the morning, get ready to hit that clock to earn an honest living, it's another group of people also getting up to hustle. But theirs might not be legit in the eyes of the law. No matter where you live, there's always trappers, robbers, scammers, people who choose to get their money out the streets. I have lived in many states, including my hometown of Baltimore, Maryland, my second home of Birmingham, Alabama, and even Atlanta, Georgia. And one thing for sure I know, no matter where I'm at, you always have to respect another person's backyard and the way they conduct themselves and handle business in their city, especially if you are playing in the streets. Most cities have the same common rules. No new faces on the block, meaning if we don't know you, you can't get no money out here. Try not to make the block hot so money can flow without police activity. And if for whatever reasons police do come, if you are not a civilian and call yourself a street dude, you shouldn't have no rap or not too much to say to them. But I know from experience, some rules are different from state to state, city to city. And some places, if you show love, you get love. Meaning you can meet somebody that's already plugged in that city, you're a new face, but because they respect them, now you get the red carpet treatment and might even be able to eat out there. But in other places, it's cruddy, cutthroat, no honor. If you walk amongst wolves and they are hungry, no matter who you are in your city, it means nothing to somebody looking for a come up somewhere else. And rubbing shoulders with the wrong people in the wrong place can be fatal. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to D.C., the District of Columbia, to discuss the case of a man who left Baltimore and went to D.C. to make a money play, but never made it back home. Back in 2020, 41-year-old Tavon Cox had made a decent life for himself in Baltimore. Described as a good dude, loving and caring to the people around him, always willing to help, and more importantly, a hardworking father. Tavon was married, and him and his wife, Crystal, shared a family of 5 kids. They made a good life for themselves in Baltimore County, but Tavon had dreams of moving his family south to Georgia for a better life. Him and his wife was solid. That was his rock, and they did everything together. And every now and again, to make a few extra dollars for the fam, Tavon would make a few plays in the streets. Nothing major, just sell a little bit of grass to people he knew. He was plugged in. Even though a family man, he could make a call and get whatever he needed. Somewhere in the mix, Tavon would find himself chopping it up on social media with some dudes from Washington D.C. And if you know anything about Baltimore and D.C., you know, even though the two cities are 45 minutes apart, we move a lot different in a lot of ways. For years, we really didn't even get along, even though that's better now. But as far as the streets, it's a known fact. We get busy in Baltimore and they get busy in D.C. In both cities, not to glorify it, is very dangerous. Sources say Tavon's cousin was the one who first made contact with the dudes from the district. But eventually, the conversation came up about product. As they stated, they was looking for a plug and had the money to cop a lot of grass. Tavon, thinking it would be easy money, said, "All right, bet." And they set up a play. Of course, he went to his wife to let her know the move, and she stated she would go along with him. The meeting spot was in Northeast D.C., a complex called Langston Terrace. On January 11th, 2020, the couple headed from Baltimore and hit D.C. Tavon called the man he was supposed to meet up with. As they pulled up to the neighborhood, somebody walked up to the car. "Like you Tavon?" As he said yeah, they upped the gun and the shot went off. As the two men went in Tavon's pockets, his wife went to her ankle and grabbed her own gun. She returned fire, but the men had hit the cut and was gone. It was too late. Not knowing where she was at, she jumped out the car in a panic, looking for a street sign before calling police. Police responded to the scene. They found Tavon suffering from a single gunshot wound to the head. He was rushed to a local hospital in critical condition. His wife, knowing she needed to let police know what happened, told the truth. She stated they came all the way from Baltimore to make a deal and didn't know the men they were meeting up with. It was supposed to be a quick in and out, but one of the men walked up to the car, shot Tavon, then they ran his pockets. Knowing his wife shot back and was in possession of an unregistered firearm, sadly enough, Crystal was charged with a handgun violation and taken into custody. And unfortunately, the following day, Tavon would pass away from his injuries. But DC police now had a homicide on their hands. And that area wasn't a stranger to crime, and nobody was talking at first, being that the victim, Tavon, wasn't even from around there. Police tried to search social media and his phone records, but it was no luck. But the streets started talking. And as a reward was put out for any information, people looking to collect told police they didn't know who shot, but they knew somebody involved. 23-year-old Nico Wheaton, a DC native, who was well known by police. Nico came from a rough area in the city. Father wasn't around, had a tough childhood, lost his brother, and had a new baby. When police went to talk to the young man, he denied everything at first. But by the time police picked him up, which was 3 months after the shooting, they had already put together the events and knew he was on the scene, as cameras in the area caught him walking, and witnesses also pointed to him as one of the robbers. Nico kept quiet and took his hit. At first, he was charged with first-degree hit while armed. His accomplice was never found. As the case moved through the system, it was shaky, and Nico's lawyer kept pointing to the fact there was no evidence, and police knew more than likely he wasn't the trigger man. But instead of taking his chances and taking it to trial and getting smashed, Nico admitted to his role in the robbery in exchange for a plea deal. He would eventually cop out to the lesser charge of voluntary manslaughter while armed, which carried anywhere between 7.5 to 12 years. As he apologized to Tavon's family, the judge sentenced him to the higher end of the guidelines, and he received 11 years in prison. It's not clear whether or not Tavon's wife Crystal charges were dropped or not for having a gun and shooting back. Hopefully so, being that in my opinion, she paid and suffered enough that day by losing her husband right in front of her. Hopefully she heals from that trauma, her and her kids. Rest in peace to Tavon. If yo was my mans and told me, like, yo, I'm about to pull up to DC and try to hit a cell with some dudes I met online, I would have told him, like, bro, you geeking. I get it. Scared money don't make no money, but you got to be smart out here. Most people think, oh, I'm from the trenches. I can go anywhere. I'm good. And yeah, that's true. You can go anywhere, but that doesn't mean you should, especially playing in the streets. If you don't know nobody and you coming with product or money, the first thing in your mind should be, they about to try me or I'm about to get took off. You have to always think how the streets think. My wife always be surprised when I point stuff out when we outside. Like, yo, Trapman over there. Or he lurking, waiting for somebody to rob and catch somebody slipping. Or bro over there trying to cop something. She always asks me, how do I know? And even though I don't condone the street life, it takes way more than it gives. I always tell her it never goes away. I spent too much time having to watch my surroundings, trying to survive. It's just built in. I think Tavon let his guard down. Probably just trying to feed his family or make that move to Georgia, trying to make some fast money. He was trying to make it happen faster. But unfortunately, playing in somebody else's backyard cost him his life. But I want to know y'all thoughts about this situation, fam. Leave it in the comments. And remember, we got to succeed, not to fail. So we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, it's a crazy story. Rest in peace to Tavon. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. But I ain't going to talk too much more about this one. Y'all leave it in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. It's another episode of Hood Tales. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.